Hello and welcome back everybody to the hello and welcome to the messy studio. Guys, it is time for some more Journey to the Greg Star. And I thought we would work today on cleaning up. Oh, sorry, here we go. Let's make sure you guys can see. I thought we'd work today on cleaning up our AE2 mess while working on GregTech. Something we need to do is we're running out of pattern space and we're not using the most efficient method for a lot of our patterns for GregTech. I want to move all of our pattern providers to crystal crafting clusters around the dome of the mega base here in the Beyond. It shouldn't be too hard to do that. I think what I'm going to do is we'll use the copy paste gadget and then throw in acceleration cards after we have moved things. So the first step is going to be to get a lot of acceleration cards. And hopefully the way we're going to build these clusters is that I can just package up these pattern providers and move them to each one. I just realized my mic was a little too far away from my face. Hopefully you guys can hear me better now. I had to turn up the audio DAC too. I don't know why mic volume went down, but that is just part of dealing with filming live. If you're new here, hi, I'm Fallen PumpKing. And we record our Let's Plays live. We use them as streams. And we're here on our private server. That is for YouTube members and Twitch subscribers. But worry not, we have a public All the Mods 9 server, IP in the description. I am a server host. I host many a Minecraft server, and I enjoy my time doing it. I really do. But I'm going to get a bunch of things queued that we're going to need, and we're going to start looking at where we want to position things, placing markers. Something else is our energy usage is getting a little out of hand with all of the wireless ME access points. And that is because we've been placing them down without putting energy cards. And so I think that's going to be a little something we'll do while things craft. Because if we look at our network, we're about a stable 120,000 FE a tick in the base. And I don't like that, considering we're not running any big machines yet. So I'm going to come to one of our access point clusters, and I'm going to just check that we have max energy cards in all of these. These ones are fine, but I don't think we put them in any of the others recently. And the thing is you have to put these energy cards in both ends of the wireless access. So you need an energy card on one end for... Oh, let me pull this up really fast. There we go. You need energy cards on the sending end, but you also need energy cards on the receiving end. So that's 8 energy cards per wireless connection, I guess is the way we'll call it. And the other thing is each energy card requires dense energy cells, which is actually a lot of fluix dust. So something that's slow is we only have one inscriber making our fluix dust. This one down here. Granted, it's an extended inscriber, so there is 4 jobs. But there is faster ways to make fluix dust for our energy cards. The fluorescence would be nice, but we can utilize our mechanism crusher. While we do have create crushing wheels set up at the moment, they are in a constant craft loop of gravel and sand, clay, and flint. So we can't really utilize these crushing wheels for fluix. However, our wonderful little quick mechanism setup, we have an ultimate crusher that sits here most of the time doing nothing. So we're going to make a fluix dust crushing pattern of, let's do 64 and 64. And throw that in our pattern provider for this. Now, whether any of the current crafting patterns will utilize it, I'm not 100% sure. It may be once we get to here, or I could re-queue the energy cards and see if it uses the crusher. Does it not want to use the crusher? What if I give this a little bit of a higher priority? But there is the pattern providers we're going to need. And I'm watching for this fluix dust craft to finish, because then the pattern provider that is controlling it, the crafting CPU, should release it here. No, it still doesn't want to do the fluix dust here. I wonder if it's because we have the 6464. What if we instead just change this to 1-1? Will it utilize it then? Ah, perfect. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. It didn't like the pattern size. If I got rid of this fluix pattern, it would use the other processing pattern, the fluix at the crusher, if we took out this pattern. But I think I'll just leave it running for now. We're going to wait for our energy cards and our molecular assemblers and clean up a little bit of the base while we wait. As we slowly continue moving properly into our mega base, we're going to have to tear everything down and rebuild it on its appropriate floor. But I'm not too worried about that. But once we have the pattern providers set up, we'll be able to make more GregTech recipes and continue our low voltage journey on our way to the next tier. I actually don't remember which one's next off the top of my head. Medium voltage, MV. Now, the thing we're really waiting on is cobalite dust, and we processed a bunch of cobalite to its crushed variant. And if we look at the ore processing tree, I think the best way to get the most cobalite dust here would be to go wash, wash, wash. Right? But I really like the idea of a sulfur byproduct. So I think we're going to macerate to impure and then centrifuge. So let's queue this up to macerate all of our crushed cobalite while we are doing other things. And the next step in that cobalite after macerating was to centrifuge, right? Macerate and then centrifuge. Yes. So we're going to need a basic centrifuge. We should have enough pattern space for this one machine really fast, just to get us ready for today's GregTeching. Grab a centrifuge. It looks like our molecular assemblers are crafting. Does that mean that the energy cards are done? Am I blind? Where is the energy cards? Are they still craft? Okay, they are still crafting. Okay. Just waiting on that fluix dust, but it's almost done. We have our basic centrifuge, and we're getting pretty full on this specific P2P line, but if we come down to the end here, we've got another 6 channels to use. Why don't we... I was going to do 2 blast furnaces, but I might do a little line right here for ore processing, I think is what we'll do. So I'm going to grab cable and come down the line here. I don't want to connect to that. I want this to be separate. And we're going to use a little trick of sharing one channel for exporting items. I'll put it down in the middle, and we're going to come up over like so. And this will allow us to do 4 machines, 4 export buses, but only 1 interface to bring everything back. I think this will work just fine. Let's grab export buses because we're going to have passive processing line. We're not going to have active where we need to request specific processing. We don't need to request cobalite ore being processed down to cobalite dust. We're just going to be passively processing any cobalite we get is the plan. I'll put our basic centrifuge right here, and we're going to need some 4 amp energy converters. I did queue a bunch of rubber since our last stream. I queued about 2,000. And once we get this ore washer up and running, I think what we'll do is we'll hop back and forth. We'll go do our crafting clusters. So I got a flux point. I got my 4 amps. Let's put one right here. I'll need my rubber mallet to switch its direction to turn our F into EU. Put that on our network. The centrifuge is now getting power, and the thing we want is we want the inlet from this side, but we want it to auto output to the interface. Like so. Auto out, auto out. And I'm not sure. We might need to wrench the face to receive the impure. Let's find out if AE2 can put it in, or if we need to wrench the face so it's on a different. What I mean by that is we've got our exports over here. That's perfect. Let's put our input on this side. Oh, beautiful. Didn't need to use the wrench. We were able to use the GUI. And I don't think we need that much acceleration. I would prefer capacity just a little bit, because I'm sure we're going to be putting a lot of dusts here. Now, to check the processing line we're washing it after macerating twice. We'll get possible sulfur dust and cobalite dust. There's nothing else we need to do on this specific line. But it could be good for us to try to do a little bit of other processing, such as thermal centrifuge for a chance at cobalt dust rather than sulfur and another basic macerator. What should we do? We're not going to do any purifying because I am not producing distilled water at this moment. I think we'll leave that be. Let's go do our crafting clusters. And I'll just preemptively place these other 4 amp energy converters. Oops. That one powers that one. This one will power this. And the other 4 amp will power this one. Perfect. Crafting cluster time, guys. We got to choose where in line they will be. I'm kind of thinking of having them in the dome. Would that work? A quick test. A quick test I want to conduct is if these are on a dense cable that has the lines, which I don't have one immediately available. Let's put a controller, because I don't remember if extended inscribers have an 8-channel limit or a 32-channel limit or 16, because they count as 4 inscribers. The test we'll do is we'll put a controller and we'll keep placing until these say offline. So right now, this one connection allows 8, but not 9. So we need to work in 8-channel pairs for the clusters. And I think we'll go with my bog standard cluster I've built in almost every series. I think that'll work just fine. We could build it in this corner going 8, 16, 24, 32. So why don't we come in a little bit with some building block. I'll just use concrete. We want the top pretty high up here, or we could have the middle. Ooh, I like that better. I'm gonna build over like so. And we'll put a wireless access point. We're getting the energy cards. We do need to go do our power. I don't know how the channels work on AE2, so I never use that mod anymore. It's pretty... Once you get the hang of it, in my opinion, it can be pretty simple to work with once you understand dense cable can carry 32 channels. Regular cable can only carry 8, and most devices can only pass through up to 8. And every side of a controller gets 32 channels. It's all in the same bit system of 8, 16, 32, upwards. But I myself am a huge AE2 guy. Among my viewers, I'm known as the AE2 guru. It's my favorite mod. And I will happily answer any questions people have regarding applied energistics. Because it truly is my favorite mod. Refined storage is great. I just wish it wasn't as abandoned as it is. But I'm excited for refined storage 2 when they finish it. AE2 is awesome. Yeah, AE2 is super powerful. My biggest complaint about refined storage is it's purely just, it can do a little bit of auto crafting, but it's mostly just for transportation and storage. AE2 can do some phenomenal systems, especially with spatial I/O, where you can create and store areas of space in dimensions with applied energistics. That's one of my favorites. But I'm going to grab some purple dense smart cable here, and we'll come up one. In fact, actually, I don't even need to do that. We don't need to do dense. We can just do a purple cable and then a P2P face. Ooh, how can I make this symmetrical? How do I want to do this? Does all the mods 9 have AE2 fluid crafting by default? Yeah, because it's 1.20.1, so fluids are just an innate part of applied energistics now. I'm going to move this down, this wireless access point, or up or down. We should probably go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to be 2 blocks away from the ceiling, so right about there. We'll put down a, I forgot it isn't 1.12. Yeah, this is very modern applied energistics, especially with other, just like refined storage. It has plenty of add-on mods that greatly improve what it can do on top of it, on top of the base mod. And this most modern version of AE2 is the most fun I've ever had with the mod. The systems are fantastic. Yeah, I can see that being strange, but I think you're going to see a lot more once NeoForge fully separates from Forge. I'm excited to see the mods and the packs that come from that. But let's get a P2P face here from where we have our first wall of P2P connections. That makes it so that we are only going to be pulling one channel over this wireless connector, which we'll remember to put energy cards in. That's the big thing today, is we're going to be putting energy cards in all of our wireless connectors. While we've got the cards on us, let's check here. We need energy cards, energy cards, energy cards. Yeah, P2P is amazingly powerful. The ability to compress the channels, especially, a lot of people don't remember that there is a lot more than just an ME P2P, which is matter energy. You have your redstone, your item P2P, your fluid P2P, your energy, your light, and then with additional mods, we can even do chemical, source, spell, and mana point to point, which is fantastic. The item P2Ps are really useful for if you don't want items touching your main network or going through any form of digital storage. You just want to move item from point A to point B. You can save on processing power of the game or server that you're playing on by using item P2P tunnels. But we're going to drag a dense cable down a little ways here, and we're going to build our crafting clusters, as we call them. We'll start the first one here. Ooh, that was scary. Looks like we haven't fixed the Ethernet adapter drops yet, but we're still working on it. Just need to add 2 more here, and that will complete this. So that should be 16 channels on the, oh, did we not? Oh, it's not bound. There we go. That makes 16 channels, and we only have to bring the cable down. We look here, 2, 4, 6, 8. We only need to bring it down to there. That'll be 16. And then we'll build this on the other side, mirroring it. I'm really bummed the stream dropped on us. We've really tried everything we can think of. I think I'm just going to have to switch back to the 2 PC streaming setup for future 4K live streams. Something about my 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter, it just randomly drops. It completely disconnects from my router. We've checked. It's nothing on the router's end. Gone through all the logs. It's all on the main PC. But I wouldn't mind going back to the 2 PC streaming setup. My game runs smoother in 4K if I do the 2 PC. It's just a little more complicated to run. Here we go, almost done. Let's just place the last assemblers. Are they laggy in this version? Well, there's ramping now, which is where there's the max tick rate of the bus, but if it's not doing work, the tick rate slows down until it has work to do again, which really helps with performance. But the entirety of how laggy the AE2 system is entirely based on what you're storing in it. How many NBT items are in there? Like, for instance, we're using a specialized NBT item storage to separate NBT items from the main network, if I can remember the corner it's in. Oh, how did this get more ancient? Oh, we're on nickel. We're good. Never mind. I was wrong. We're using this little device I came up with, which is where at all times the main network is with a tag export bus. This is from a mod. Exporting tagged armors, swords, bows, stuff like that. And then just an additional bus doing the things we can't do with tags. And this connection shows that it is not connected to the main network. This is its own little subnet that holds all the NBT items. And I came up with a little emitter system to where if I need to grab something from the NBT storage and I'm not here at the base, I have an item, which is this Supremium sword, that if I craft it, the emitters turn on, switching the toggle bus, turning off the export so there's no loop, connects to the main net. I can now see all of my NBT items. And then when I'm done seeing my NBT items, I cancel the craft and it shuts off the network connection. But by doing that, we greatly speed up the AE2 network's performance so that export buses are not seeing so many items. That's what really helps with lag, is just reducing the amount of items those buses see. At least that's what we do in this version. Helps a lot. But for the next step, because I am a lazy person, I don't want to build these manually. I'm going to get... That used more molecular assemblers than I thought it would. I'm going to craft another 200 of these. But we're going to grab a building gadget, copy-paste gadget. And unfortunately, it's a little bugged with shaders, so I'm going to turn off my shaders momentarily. And we will switch this to copy mode. And we just need to make some lines of, we want to be from here to here as our first copy point. And our second copy point needs to be at this height to here. Beautiful. I'm going to break the concrete so it doesn't try to place it again. And redo the copy by pressing G, setting menu, confirm, and it recopies. You'll be back in a minute. Sounds good. Now we'll switch to our paste mode. And I need to unanchor it from where it is, clear our settings. And we'll build over, let's see, am I copying, I'm pasting from the bottom. So if we just build over a block, just to get it in the building, we'll anchor it and modify here. So we need to rotate it. Oh, that was undo. I don't know what I just undid. Hopefully nothing important. But we need to rotate it. So about where we want it, but we need to come down a few. Let's see, what level is that? So that's the level of the glass. So that's the right height. And then the corner, we get right in line here. We want to pull that, push that over. Beautiful. And then in terms of how far it is from the edge, we could just count here from the top blocks. There is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So that's right where we want it. Let's get rid of this concrete and paste it down. Now we do need some more. Oh, there wasn't enough molecular assemblers, I don't think. We were so close. We're just waiting on this here. Right now it's a crafting table and dead log that is slowing us down. Oh no, I know what I undid. Oh, that's a rough undo. We just broke. That's what the undo did. It just broke this floor. Oh, that sucks. We'll fix it in a minute. We'll fix it in a minute. I want to get all of these placed, but we're going to speed it up by creating another crafting table recipe in a better working pattern provider, as well as the deadlog recipe in a better working pattern provider. I'm going to ignore these ones for now. And we're going to put it in upgraded. And that should greatly increase our speed. You know what? We should full blown double pattern here. We'll make this pattern molecular assembler and quartz glass into sped up pattern providers. Oh yeah, look at that cruise. Ooh, beautiful. Let's finish pasting here. And now we need to move to the other corners. So I'm going to de-anchor. And we'll come over here. Let's try to get the height kind of right off the bat. Let's see, this is the level of the top. Perfect. Then we need to come in and over so that there is 3 blocks. Oh, wrong one. I'm editing the wrong one. Let's do that and that. How are we looking? So right now there is 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to bring the Z back 1. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So that's right where it needs to be. Let's paste it. We had all the blocks. Looks good. And then I need to unanchor, rotate, and put it over here. Clear this, then bring it to the right height. Just going to be right in line with our mouse. Then we'll do this side. So it's going to need to go 3 this way. 1, 2, 3. And we are 1, 2, 3 on this side. Perfect. They should be in line. Oh yeah, look at that. That is gorgeous. Let's see, do I have enough? No, we're going to need... Let me look at the material list. I need a few more extended molecular assemblers. As far as I know, there are some problems with building gadgets and tile entities. That might be the reason as to why it did that. Oh no, I accidentally pressed undo is what I did. I accidentally, I went to rotate, which is this top button, and I hit undo, and the last thing I used it for was the floor, but we'll fix the floor once this is done. Grab some more of these. We only needed the 104. So paste. There we go. The clusters are done. Make the game look good again. These will be our crafters. The next thing to set up is the main cable and P2P for each, and then accelerate all of these. That's what's gonna take the most time, I feel like. But I don't know if I want to go on with, by the way, that's the bug I'm talking about with the building gadget. Why you don't use it with shaders. Or the copy paste gadget, sorry. But we're going to copy the black concrete line, I think is what we'll do. So I guess we actually should have kept the shaders off. And we'll go copy mode, copy from here all the way to here. Put a bunch of black concrete in our inventory in just a second. And then we'll switch to paste mode. And just bring it into place. We need to go further that way, and down one. Perfect. That is all the black concrete. Should be done with this now. And then we'll just fill in the green concrete with a builder's wand. Oh, lime concrete. Grab a bunch of it. I'm trying to grab my wand. Keep pressing the wrong button. But we'll fill this all back in. Shouldn't take too long here. And did we need a little bit of green concrete down here? No, but right here we do. All right, floor is fixed. Looks good to me. Let's focus on getting all of these pattern providers online. So this one's done. We need wireless connectors. We need 2, 4, 6. So I'm going to need a few more. Put away the concrete. We got the energy cards all set and ready. And then we just need a memory card for... Oh, we have it. Memory card and P2P points. And cable, which I just had all these items and I put them away. What was I doing? Okay, beautiful. Let's start with this one. Put away the builder's wand. Where the cable is going to start here. And then work its way up. To right there, where we will P2P bus, cable, wireless, put energy cards in there, bind it, and then we'll grab a P2P point as well as place the access point. So connector, bind, energy cards, P2P point. We'll grab this one. Is that the one we just did? I think it is. Bring these crafters online. Should be all online. Yep, beautiful. Let's do this again. So cable from here. P2P face. Connector. Energy cards, bind, then back down. We've still got 14 of 32 on this one. But I don't really want to, I don't want to go more than 16 in case we use multiple P2P outputs from a single connector. Right now we're fine. XP2P face should be this one. That is for here. And last one before we do the boring acceleration cards. Let's finish this up. bind. Oh, energy cards. I'm so bad at that. Point, bind, and P2P face. Beautiful. Online and running. Now, I'm going to do something a little sneaky. What are the energy cards for? So from extended AE, these wireless connectors, instead of using quantum bridges, they have a power usage for their wireless distance. 1 AE a tick is 2 RF a tick. So this is using 116 RF a tick. But without energy cards, now we're up to, what's that, 192 RF a tick. It just makes it cheaper. If it was energy cards in, for instance, our terminal, it increases how much energy the terminal stores. So it kind of depends on where you use them, what they do. But I just remembered we need to transfer some patterns here. We need to transfer some patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip out the bottom and 2 on each cluster to make this easy for us. Because there is no patterns in these yet. And then we're going to grab extended AE packing tape. And we're going to bind these. Now, which ones? There's going to be one that like doesn't have patterns yet. So this one doesn't have patterns. This one does. This one doesn't really. We can put that pattern in another machine. Either does that one. So we're starting here, and I'll put this pattern with this guy. Okay. So we will packing tape. Oh, yep. Make sure pick up to inventory magnet is on. Packing tape, packing tape, packing tape, packing tape. Then break these assemblers. Come over here and start putting these in these slots. So one there, one there. Close it off. One there, one there. Close it off. And this way we don't have to move the patterns one at a time. We're just going to snag them from these and put them in the new setup. I think we left off right here. Let's keep going. Close off. Provider, close off. Provider. Then over to this one, we should have just a few more to grab. Let's grab these. I'm going to just turn on my magnet so they actually come to me immediately. And we'll grab these two. Gonna need to do a couple extra faces or replacements because after we place these 4 or 3, we still have 5 to go. Why don't we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like that, we have transferred all of the crafting patterns. That is done. There's no more molecular assemblers. They are all up here. Now, the thing we got to do now is all of these need to be accelerated. And that's going to really take some time to do. So I really wanted to get to some GregTech. So we will just do a few. Specifically, the bottom ones that we placed patterns in. And then maybe some others. Because there's no quick way to do this. But I'm going to start at the northeast. And we'll do pillar, pillar. So it should be 2 of them, and then 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to make sure that that one filled. 1, 2, 3. I see Greg. Yep, this is my journey to the Greg Star episode, where we are attempting to go for the Greg Star in all the mods 9. But I feel an important part of going for the Greg Star is to have a solid base to manage everything. And so that's what we're working on right now. Is Greg required for progression in all the mods 9? Not at all. Greg is required after the all the mods star. And it's just for GregTech stuff. So you have the all the mods star. This is the official end of all the mods 9. Like, this is what people go for. This lets you get creative items. But for those who want to, once you finish that, there is the Greg Star. And the Greg Star uses the all the mods star as a component. So you have to beat all the mods 9 before you can even make the Greg Star. We've beaten all the mods 9 6 times. This is technically season 7, even though the current public server is the season 6 world. This private server we're just counting as season 7, even though it's not public. One, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is what I mean by it's going to take a while, and it's going to take a lot of cards. But maybe if it's something we just work on in between projects, it won't drive us insane trying to do it. One, 2, 3. Okay, we're almost done with this corner. Okay. These are all now accelerated and done. It is done. The northeast corner. We still need to accelerate the other 3. But I wanted to see if we got some cobalite. Beautiful. We got cobalite dust, so we're going to do 147 crafts of cobalt oxide. 147. And we're hoping from this craft for quest progression. Oh, we got the centrifuge quest. We need arsenic trioxide. It's a little convoluted because they use Cube.js items. So in the Star Forge, it requires an end-still exchanger. That's not hard. Advanced computers, that's fine. Unobtainium furnaces, no problem. Black core controller, no problem. Antimatter, no problem. But then these Cube.js recipes. So like the robust star housing is a Patrick star, 32 double tungsten steel plates, tungsten steel screw, oxygen plasma, nitrogen plasma, argon plasma, helium plasma. Make that robust. Not being a noob anymore requires 2 stacks of blocks of neutronium. Absolute reaction plating is going to require block of neutronium, 16 fusion coil blocks, machine casing Mark III, and glass, as well as liquid uranium-235. Super thermal is going to be ultimate voltage coil, 16 of them, 16 titanium coil blocks, and 4 large Nequadria batteries with 2 buckets of liquid europium. And last but not least, the cable of hyperconductivity is going to need 8 of the following: 16x magnesia phosphide, magnesium diboride, mercury, barium, calcium cuprate wire, uranium triplatinum, 16 samarium iron arsenic oxide, indium tin barium titanium cuprate, uranium rhodium dinaquadide, and enriched naquata trinium europium duranide wire, as well as some liquid styrene butadiene rubber, silicon rubber, and rubber. But the thing is in that GregStar recipe, if we come back to the robust, not the robust star housing, the... Oh, hold on. The star compression module needs an all-the-mod star, 16 UV energy clusters, 4 ultimate voltage power transformers, and 4 UV 16 amp energy hatches. And the all-the-mod star requires beating all the mods with all of their Cube.js, which is using every mod in the pack almost. But the whole reason you would do this is the GregStar is used in an assembly line for the micro universe orb, which we can look at the multi-block of the micro universe orb. It is gorgeous. I can't wait to make this. Probably like what, a year from now? How we doing here? Running perfectly good. Have we gotten any gallium or night? Nope. Nothing yet. But yeah, a lot of those things are expensive, y'all. It is the end game of end game. And right now, we're only in LV. We're working on getting the mega base properly established to go for the GregStar in the first place. We do need to move our processors and controllers up here. We'll go here, 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 and here. We're trying to disconnect everything from the main controller and only use P2P on the main controller, going through a subnet, like so, to the various locations in the base. Yeah, we'll see. We'll I'm learning a lot of GregTech by doing this. I am not a GregTech expert. I don't know a lot of GregTech. I'm learning as I go the modern 1.20 GregTech, but I think it will be good and fun. Something I wanted to do on stream is we finally can make our Althemodium seed, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's what lets you skip a lot. So for instance, I'm using mechanism steel instead of GregTech steel. So my steel's really easy. Instead of building an oxygen line, I'm using liquid oxygen from mechanism as well. The liquid oxygen. So there's shortcuts. There's shortcuts here and there. Never played all the mods 9, you just know a ton of Greg. Yeah, I know. I only know a little bit of Greg from watching GregTech New Horizons by Karex AE2, I think is his name, and Threefold. So I don't know much. But guys, we need magical dirt, magical soil, which is 4 dragon scale, 4 insanium block, and an insanium farmland. We made sure we had those resources. We crafted the 8 insanium blocks we needed for the total, so we still have the 4, and then insanium farmland. Let's make magical soil here. And I'm going to clean up these hoppers since we're trying to move away from here. But I'll put the farmland down. I'll do 4 insanium blocks and 4 dragon scale. Here is our magical soil. And why don't we add this down in our super botany farm, because it's efficient for the server. This is far from the fastest way to grow the seeds. It just helps the botany pots are good on the server, and with how many players we have during the day, I really want it to be everything I build, I'm building lag efficient for the server. We need Althemodium seed if it produces extra. I have a feeling it doesn't, but we'll add storage for it anyway. Where is our Althemodium essence? Partition a bulk cell for that. Come up here, do our essence, then seed, and get our first Althemodium seed of the server planted. We'll also make the recipes using that essence. So if we look at Althemodium, it comes from nuggets, which we can make essence and ingot. Then I'd prefer... we'll get them all accelerated eventually. We'll just throw them in for now. But I feel like that was a little bit of progression there. Hi, Fallen. Hi, Fallen. Hope you're doing great today. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we didn't do much GregTech today. Literally, the only GregTech thing we did was the basic centrifuge. But the point of this episode of Journey to the Greg Star was to show a bit of preparing the base to handle GregTech. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. And if you made it this far or you're watching this later, consider leaving a like on the video if you enjoyed your time and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more. I've been Fallen PumpKing. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be in the world, and I'll catch you next time.